Today we are taking a look at the all-new 2024 GMC Acadia, GMC's premium offering to the growing and very competitive mid-size SUV segment. We've got an all-new vehicle here, new styling, new technology, new features, and an all-new powertrain, a 2.5-liter turbocharged four-cylinder that makes 328 horsepower and 326 pound-feet of torque. That is the only engine option available across all GMC Acadias going forward. 8-speed automatic transmission, available all-wheel drive system, increased towing capacity up to 5,000 pounds, and all of this still means it gets better fuel economy than the outgoing powertrain combinations. Right here we've got a Denali trim and an AT4 trim. We will get up close to see the details, interior and exterior. In terms of technology, there is a lot more too. We now have GM Super Cruise available on the Acadia as an option, which is more than 400,000 miles of supported map roads for hands-free driving. It is one of the best systems out there. Up to 9 different camera views. We have 15 standard and optional safety features. There is a ton to offer with this new 2024 GMC Acadia. With that, let's get up close with it. Let's take an up-close look at these two new 2024 GMC Acadias. We've got the Denali trim here and the AT4. We'll start off with the AT4. Like the rest of the lineup of AT4 vehicles, this is more off-road focused, more rugged, more capable, and there's a good amount of changes. Starting with these 18-inch wheels, we have more capable all-terrain tires. It is taller, wider, it's got a 1-inch suspension lift, and you'll see on these wider black fenders here, we've got the WOM lights, which is shared from the heavy-duty trucks to the Colorado AT4. It's a unique touch compared to the Denali right there. Up front, we also have the Knight Rider chrome front treatment there, the red GMC logo, and we have functional tow hooks here in red, and below that we have skid plates. There's a visible one there, and further back underneath the vehicle, there's another skid plate. These are meant to actually be used. They are capable. You see the little AT4 badge right there. And we see the updated DRLs headlights here with the C shape that really echoes the one that you see in the trucks, the Sierra 1500. That's the first thing I noticed when I walked up and saw the front end. The profile is also completely different because you need better approach angles for something that is supposed to be more off-road capable. You see the overhang is slightly different, especially compared to this one here, the Denali, which is the more luxurious road-focused one. You see how much more that lower fascia will stick out. Continuing on with the Acadia AT4, we have that mentioned suspension lift, plus the fact that the track is a bit wider, the more aggressive tires all contribute to a bit higher of a stance. We have an AT4 badge there on the side, and you also get blacked out trim surround compared to the chrome on the Denali, which we'll look at in a moment. And then coming around to the back, we again have the updated taillight shape, also the C shape that echoes the front, and check out these exhaust tips. They are square, and the geometry and inspiration is actually derived from the Corvette Stingray. Yes, the C8 Corvette Stingray exhaust tips made their way onto the GMC Acadia. That's the first thing I thought when I saw them, like, those look like the new Corvette exhaust tips. And yeah, they are not exactly the same part, but similar. Now let's take a look at the exterior of the Acadia Denali. So the Denali is, as always, the top-tier luxurious version, and you'll immediately see the chrome treatment on the grille, on the trim. Very, very different personality from the AT4 trim. This chrome is called Galvano chrome. It's a bit more muted. It's not crazy over the top. We also have the upgraded 22-inch wheels on the Denali. It starts as a base 20-inch wheel, but you can upgrade to this 22-inch wheel, and this blue paint looks quite nice too. We have a Denali badge there on the side, and you see the trim is all in chrome. The lower here is still blacked out, so you still have a bit of that two-tone. We have the GMC badge back there, and yes, Corvette exhaust tips. Denali badge back here, and it says Acadia all-wheel drive. Let's check out the interior, starting with the AT4. The first thing you're going to notice when you step in the refreshed new GMC Acadia is this huge upgraded infotainment screen, a massive improvement from the outgoing generation. This is a 15-inch vertically oriented portrait infotainment screen. It will still have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. We have the volume knob integrated into the screen here. You can touch that for your headlight controls. And then below that, at all moments, we'll have the HVAC from the heated seats to your temperature control. And then they're mapped to these toggles below, so you still have a physical interface here to toggle up and down your temperature and things like that. Very nice vertical oriented screen here, whereas like for example in the Chevy, it's more landscape oriented. We also have a full digital cluster here in the middle. And then a lot of differences in the interior design. A lot of very horizontal design language. That's the new theme for GMC. I think it's really cool that this center area here drops off. They did some things where moving the airbag module or something that allowed them to shrink this, which helps with visibility, helps with the feeling of openness. We also have much more space on the center console because the transmission selector has moved here to the column, which means we have a wireless phone charger here, some storage. This will close, and then we have cup holders, and underneath that we have a storage, which I'll show in a moment. Pretty large center console. For the AT4, you also get unique interior color combinations. This is called Forest Storm. It's like a greenish gray finish. We do have the contrast stitching, the mahogany piping here, and then different types of trim treatments all over the interior of the AT4. And you also note we have a GMC badge here. You'll see on the Denali it's different. Now we have the interior of the Denali trim, which is the much more luxurious one, which means nice materials, nice finishes. This color combination is called Sheer and Very Dark Atmosphere. Sheer is this very light gray, almost cream colored leather. You have the stitching up here, Denali embroidered on the headrest. The contrast very dark brown is called Very Dark Atmosphere. And then we have the open pore wood. You can feel the grain. You get Denali right here etched into the wood. And that trim is actually very, very nice. That same 15-inch infotainment screen. The other color combination for the Denali is going to be called After Dark, and that's just all blacked out, everything inside. We have the upgraded Bose sound system there. The metal speaker grills, I believe that's the 16 speaker. The base one is a 12 speaker. We have Denali here on the door sill. And underneath that center console, you see the very large pass-through, which you can store a bag, whatever you need underneath there, because they relocated the transmission selector. Above, we have a panoramic moonroof, sunroof, whatever you want to call it, the glass roof that goes from A pillar all the way to the C pillar. You can open that up. We have second row captain's chairs here. Third row has 3 seats. They can fold down with the touch of a button. The base trim will get a bench seat in the middle, which you can upgrade to the captain's chairs. And then in the third row, we do have 3 seats there. The stitching continues with the quilted leather, and above they actually have a little cutout, so if you're a bit taller, you can still fit back there. And then coming around to the trunk, it has 80% more space behind the third row. We can press a button and fold down the third row, you see there. But if we look underneath here, there is even more storage space. You still have a spare tire underneath, but that is a ton more cargo capacity, which is really important in this segment. And you still have a spare tire, that's pretty nice. Go ahead and close the trunk. And then let's hop in the driver's seat here. You notice it has a Denali badge here instead of GMC because Denali has so much brand equity. We also have Super Cruise available on the GMC Acadia now. It is the 2nd generation system, which means it has the lane changing, all of that type of stuff, similar to the other higher end vehicles that have Super Cruise. I hope you enjoyed this first look at the 2024 GMC Acadia. I certainly am looking forward to getting behind the wheel and experiencing what this has to offer. Thanks for watching.